Hello, and welcome to Daily English Flow. We're really happy you're here. I'm Amelia.
And I'm James. On this channel, we practice real, everyday English with natural conversations.
If you enjoy learning this way, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. All right, let's get started.
All right, Amelia, I feel good already. Your energy today is really positive, and I think it's a perfect day to talk about something warm and simple. Not stressful at all, just real life and real feelings.
I'm glad you feel that way, James, because I was thinking the same. Sometimes English feels difficult for learners, but when we talk about happy moments, even small ones, the words come more naturally and people feel less afraid.
Yes, exactly. And happiness doesn't need big events, it can be very quiet. Let me ask you something. Did anything small make you feel good today, even for just a few seconds, maybe without you noticing it first?
Oh, yes, definitely. This morning, I opened the window and the air was fresh and cool. I stood there for a moment, breathing slowly, and I suddenly felt calm and thankful. It wasn't exciting, but it felt really nice.
That sounds peaceful. I like moments like that too. For me, it was my coffee. I know it sounds boring, but when I took the first sip, I smiled. It tasted perfect, and I thought, okay, today will be good.
Coffee happiness is very serious, actually. And this is a great example. You didn't need a long story. You can simply say, I felt happy when I drank my coffee, and everyone understands you. That's real communication.
Exactly. And many learners think they need big vocabulary, but they don't. Simple sentences are powerful. For example, it made me smile, or I felt good when this happened. These phrases work in many situations.
Yes, and they sound natural. Let me try one. I felt happy when I read a message from my friend this morning. She just asked how I was, but it made me feel important and remembered. That small thing changed my mood.
That's a great sentence, Amelia. Very clear, very natural, and also emotional. I think emotions help people remember English better. When you feel something, the words stay in your mind longer.
I completely agree. And happiness can come from many small places: food, music, people, even silence. Yesterday, I listened to my favorite song while cooking dinner and I started singing badly, but I felt free and happy.
Bad singing is the best kind of singing. For me, music is very important too. Sometimes I hear an old song and suddenly I remember a happy time from the past. My face changes and I smile without thinking.
And that smile is a happy moment itself. This is what I want learners to understand. You don't need to wait for something big. Happiness is already around you, and English is just a tool to talk about it.
Yes, and talking about it can make the moment even better. When you share something happy, the feeling grows. It's like happiness doubles when you say it out loud, especially to someone who listens and understands.
That's so true. And it's okay if your English isn't perfect. People don't listen to mistakes, they listen to feelings. When you say, I felt happy, your emotion is clear, even with simple grammar.
Exactly. And we want this conversation to feel friendly, like two friends talking. No pressure, no tests, just stories, smiles, and real English that you can use today, not someday in the future.
Yes. So let's stay in this feeling and keep talking naturally, just like this, about moments that make life lighter and learning English more enjoyable.
You know, Amelia, listening to you talk about those small moments makes me realize something important. Many people only notice happiness when something big happens, but they forget that everyday life is full of quiet wins.
Yes, exactly. And those quiet wins are perfect for English practice. You don't need a special reason to speak. Even finishing a small task or understanding a new word can make you feel proud. And that feeling is worth talking about.
Oh, feeling proud is a great point. I remember the first time I finished a long work project without help. It wasn't famous or exciting, but inside I thought, I did this myself. And that feeling stayed with me all day.
That's such a good example.
You can say, I felt proud when I finished my project, and it sounds strong and confident. Pride doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's quiet, warm, and personal, like a small smile inside.
Smiles. Exactly. And another word I like is achievement. It sounds big, but it doesn't have to be. Learning to cook one new meal or speaking English for 5 minutes without fear is also an achievement, especially for learners.
I love that. People often think achievements must be huge, but that's not true at all. Last month, I finally learned how to explain my feelings better in English, and I felt so happy and proud of myself.
That's wonderful, Amelia. And this shows that language learning itself can be a source of happiness. Every small step forward is a success. Even understanding a short conversation like this one is already progress.
Yes, and sometimes happiness feels like a dream come true, even if others don't see it that way. For example, when I traveled alone for the first time, I felt nervous, but also very proud and excited.
Oh, traveling alone is a big step. I remember my first solo trip too. I got lost, I made mistakes, and I laughed at myself a lot. But at the end, I thought, I can do this, and that feeling was amazing.
Getting lost is part of the story, right? And those stories are great to share. You can say, it was a dream come true, or it was an unforgettable experience, even if it wasn't perfect.
Yes, because unforgettable doesn't mean perfect. It means you remember it clearly. Strong emotions, good or bad, make moments stay in our minds. And when you talk about them in English, you practice real storytelling.
That's such an important idea. Stories don't need to be polished, they just need to be honest. When you talk about your achievements or dreams, people feel closer to you and conversations become more natural.
Absolutely. And listening is just as important as speaking. When someone shares a happy moment, reacting kindly matters. Saying something simple like, that's great, or I'm happy for you, can make a big difference.
Yes, reactions show care. Imagine telling someone about your achievement and hearing nothing back. That feels sad. But one warm response can make the moment brighter and more meaningful.
And the good thing is, these reactions are easy to learn. You don't need complex sentences. A short, honest reaction is enough. English becomes a bridge, not a wall.
Exactly, James. And I think that's the feeling we want to keep. English as a bridge between people, emotions, and everyday moments that deserve to be shared, no matter how small or simple they seem.
One thing I really enjoy about these conversations, James, is how they remind me that happiness is not only about ourselves. Very often, it appears when we see someone else succeed or feel good, and that feeling can be just as strong.
That's very true. When a friend shares good news, it almost feels like your own moment of joy. Last week, my colleague told me she got a new job, and I honestly felt excited for her, even before thinking about myself.
That's such a nice feeling. And it's also a great moment to practice English reactions, saying things like, that's wonderful, or congratulations, I'm really happy for you. Sounds natural and shows real care, not just polite words.
Exactly. And those reactions don't need to be long. Sometimes people worry they must say something smart, but a simple, warm response is enough. The tone and feeling matter more than perfect grammar or long sentences.
I agree completely. I remember telling a friend about finishing a difficult course. She just smiled and said, well done, you deserve it. That short sentence made me feel proud and supported at the same time.
That's a great example. Support creates connection. And when people celebrate together, even in small ways, the happiness feels stronger. It doesn't have to be a big party. Sometimes a coffee together or a short call is perfect.
Yes, celebration can be very simple. When I finished a stressful week recently, I treated myself to a quiet evening, good food, and no phone. I felt relieved, calm, and happy that it was finally over.
Feeling relieved is such an important emotion. Finishing something difficult brings a special kind of happiness. Exams, deadlines, hard conversations, even cleaning a messy room can make you feel lighter afterward.
Cleaning a messy room is definitely an achievement. And again, it's something learners can talk about. Saying, I felt relieved when I finished my exam, or I was happy when the work was done, sounds very real.
Yes, and these moments slowly build confidence. When you notice them, life feels richer. Also, talking about them helps you understand your own emotions better, not only practice English.
That's such a good point. Language helps us name feelings, and when we name them, we understand them more clearly. Happiness becomes something we can see, not just feel quietly inside.
And happiness can come from kindness, too. Helping someone, even in a small way, can completely change your mood. Yesterday, I helped an older neighbor carry her bags, and her smile stayed in my head all evening.
Oh, that's beautiful. Moments like that feel heartwarming. You don't expect anything back, but you feel good anyway. And you can easily describe that in English with simple words and honest emotions.
Exactly. Saying it made me feel good to help someone is enough. It shows kindness and humanity. These are the moments people connect to most when listening to a story.
I think that's why everyday English is so powerful. It talks about real life, not perfect situations. Small help, small wins, small celebrations, but big feelings inside.
Yes, and when learners understand this, English stops being scary. It becomes a way to share life, not a test to pass. That's when speaking starts to feel natural and enjoyable.
Thinking about those moments of helping others, James, I realize that happiness often appears when we don't plan it. It just happens naturally, like when you do something kind or notice something beautiful without expecting any reward.
That's very true. For example, yesterday I was walking home and I saw the sun coming out after a long rainy day. The light was soft, the street looked calm, and for a moment I just stopped and enjoyed it.
Oh, I love moments like that. Sunshine can change everything so quickly. You feel warmer inside, even if nothing special happened. You can simply say, the sunshine made me feel happy, and it perfectly describes that feeling.
Exactly. And the same happens with rain, actually. Some people dislike it, but I remember being a child and jumping in puddles. When it rains now, that memory comes back, and it still makes me smile.
Yes, rain can be playful too. That's a great example of how memories connect with happy moments. You don't need the event again, just remembering it can bring happiness in the present.
And memories are easy to talk about. You can say, I remember feeling happy when, or it reminds me of a good time. These sentences are simple, but they carry strong emotions and clear meaning.
Absolutely. Another everyday moment that makes me happy is food shared with people I care about. Last weekend, I had dinner with my family, and we laughed a lot over very simple food. It felt warm and comfortable.
That sounds really nice. Sharing meals is a classic happy moment. I also feel happy when I eat alone sometimes, especially after a long day. Sitting quietly, eating something tasty, and relaxing can be very peaceful.
Yes, happiness doesn't always need noise or people. Quiet moments matter too. Listening to music, drinking tea, watching the sky change colors in the evening. These are small experiences, but they stay with you.
Music is a big one for me. When I hear my favorite song, I feel lighter immediately. Sometimes I even forget my problems for a few minutes. That short break feels like a gift to myself.
That's beautiful. You can describe that by saying, the song made me feel joyful, or I felt happy listening to music. Again, nothing complicated, just honest feelings connected to real life.
And these moments can happen every day. That's why it's important to notice them. When you start paying attention, you realize happiness is not rare. It's actually everywhere, just quiet sometimes.
I agree. Even a kind message from a friend can change your mood completely. A simple, how are you, can make you feel seen and cared for, especially on a difficult day.
Yes, and those messages are great moments to talk about too. Saying, I felt happy when my friend texted me is something everyone understands and relates to.
Exactly. And whether it's sunshine, rain, food, music, or a message, all these moments are part of daily life. They may look small,
but together they create a feeling of happiness that lasts longer.
When we slow down and pay attention, we see that many good moments are already there, waiting for us to notice and enjoy them.
When you start noticing all these moments, Amelia, it almost feels like happiness becomes a habit. You begin to expect small good things during the day, not in a naive way, but in a calm and thankful way.
Yes, exactly. And one thing that really helps with this is reflection. At the end of the day, I sometimes think about what made me smile, even briefly, and it helps me see the day in a kinder light.
I do the same. Sometimes the day feels boring or stressful, but when I stop and think, I realize there were good moments too. A friendly face, a tasty meal, or even finishing something on time can matter.
That's why I like the idea of writing things down. Just a few short notes about happy moments. It doesn't need to be a long diary. Even 3 simple sentences can help you remember what felt good.
Yes, like saying, I felt joyful when my friend called, or it was heartwarming to see my dog playing outside. These short sentences are easy to write and easy to say, but they carry real emotion.
Exactly. And when you write or say them, you relive the feeling again. It's like enjoying the same happy moment twice. First, when it happens, and second, when you remember it later.
That's such a nice way to describe it. And this habit also helps people appreciate life more. Instead of focusing only on problems, you slowly train your mind to notice good things as well.
I agree. It changes your perspective. Even on difficult days, you can usually find at least one small moment that feels warm or comforting. That moment doesn't fix everything, but it helps.
And sharing these moments with others can spread that feeling even further. When you tell someone about a happy moment, they often smile too, and sometimes they share their own story back.
Yes, happiness really is contagious. One small story can start a chain of smiles. That's why talking about these moments is so powerful. It connects people on a very human level.
And it doesn't matter if the moment is big or small. A big achievement and a quiet cup of tea can both bring joy. What matters is noticing them and allowing yourself to feel happy about them.
Absolutely. I think many people feel they need a reason to be happy, but happiness doesn't need permission. If something makes you smile, that's already enough.
That's very true. And when you start living this way, life feels a little lighter. You don't rush past everything anymore. You slow down and enjoy what is already there.
I love that idea. Slowing down, noticing, and appreciating. These are simple actions, but they can change how a day feels. And over time, they can change how life feels too.
Yes, and that's the beautiful part. Happiness is not far away or difficult to find. It's often right in front of us, in ordinary moments we experience every single day.
So, whether it's a smile from a stranger, a kind word, or a peaceful moment alone, every bit of happiness counts. Noticing it, remembering it, and sharing it can make a real difference.
Exactly. And when we do that, we create more space for joy in our lives, one small moment at a time, without pressure, without perfection, just honest and human.
I think this is a good moment to pause and leave everyone with these thoughts. Notice the small happy moments today. Let them stay with you, and don't rush past them like they don't matter.
Yes, take them with you into your evening or your next day. A kind word, a smile, or a quiet moment can change how you feel more than you expect if you allow yourself to notice it.
Thank you for spending this time with us and sharing this calm, positive space. We're really glad you were part of this conversation, and we hope it brought you a little warmth and reflection.
Take care. Keep noticing the good moments around you, and we'll see you again very soon.